The Jumbies by Tracey Baptiste. Chapter 28, Separate Ways. The four left the swamp and made their way along the coast, away from the witch's shack. The river had mercifully washed most of the swamp stench from their clothes and hair, and the sun was beginning to dry them off. None of them spoke. Corinne noticed that Drew hung back a little from the group. She stopped suddenly and turned around to face Drew. "What are you doing?" Corinne asked. "Nothing," Drew said softly. "Why aren't you walking with the rest of us?" "I'm walking." "Not with us." "I'm right behind you," Drew protested. She pulled a long lock of hair to the front and began to play with it. Buki and Malik turned to look at the girls. Malik nudged his brother, and Buki rolled his eyes to the sky. Corinne asked, "Are you trying to keep an eye on me? Do you think I'm going to work some kind of magic on you?" "No," Drew said, though she didn't sound too sure. "You think I'm just like Severine or the Duennes who took your friend away. You're afraid of me now, aren't you?" "I'm not scared," Drew said. "You're scared of everything," Corinne said. "I'm not," Drew insisted, but her lip began to quiver, so she bit down on it. "I came with you to see the witch, didn't I?" "You stayed the closest to the door the entire time, and as soon as the witch said when she said what I was, you wanted to get away from me. Well, now's your chance. Go. I don't need you." Corinne's eyes began to sting with tears, so she blinked them back and stared Drew down while she waited to see what her friend would do. Drew looked from Corinne to the brothers, and then back to Corinne again. She clenched her fists. "Everything is happening because of you. You are the one she wants, not us." "You don't know what you're talking about, Drew," Corinne said. "I wish we had never met. I wish I had never even laid eyes on you." Drew ran through the waves toward her village. Her long hair blew behind her. "You pushed her away," Buki said to Corinne. "Why did you have to go and do that?" Corinne took one look at Malik's sad face as he watched Drew run off, and she slumped over with her hands balled into fists on her knees. The tears that she had tried to hold back flowed down her face. "You can go too," Corinne said. "I would get away from this mess if I could." "That's exactly why we are staying," Buki said. "You can't do everything yourself." "I don't have any choice. My papa can't take care of me anymore. I have to take care of him. There's no one else to do it." "No, there's one less," Buki said. "You had 3 of us. Now you have 2. You see what happened to my papa. You heard what the witch said. The people around me, the ones who try to protect me, they always get hurt. Even the witch. Who knows what will happen next? Don't you see? I have to work alone." Malik shook his head. "What would you like me to tell her, brother?" Buki said, sounding exasperated. "She wants to go it alone. It's not like I can force her to let us help." "It's better this way, Malik," Corinne said. "You'll be safe." Malik shook his head again and stared at her with determination. Buki tried to ignore him. "So what are you going to be able to do by yourself then?" he asked. Corinne pulled herself up and took a deep breath. "I'm going to do exactly what I should have done in the first place. I'm going to climb the cliff and get my mama's necklace back." "And then what?" "You should have seen the look on Severine's face when she touched that stone and it burned her hand. There is something about it. I'm going to figure it out." "What if that doesn't work? Better to fight it out like we did last night. It's the only way." "It isn't, Buki. I know the stone will help. I can just feel it inside me, like the witch said. When I had the necklace, I felt strong. I don't anymore. And why would Severine take it away if it wasn't important? It's the last night and my last chance, so it's time for a real plan. Severine knows exactly what she's doing. By dark tonight, we need to know exactly what we're doing too. And my mama's necklace is step 1. She gave the boys a firm nod. Malik clapped her back in agreement. Corinne gazed out at the water. "I will need to row out to the cliff. But that fisherman, Victor, he will try to stop me if he sees me. The others might too. Corinne looked at Buki and Malik. What's that look? Buki asked. What do you want us to do about a whole village full of fishermen? Malik nudged his brother. All right, we can distract the fishermen, Buki said. We will find a way. Excitement tingled on Corinne's skin, from her toes all the way up to her scalp, now that they had a plan. But the weight of the events of the day felt heavy inside her. She could not imagine going it alone. Tears burned in her eyes again. Thank you, she said. Buki patted her on the shoulder. It would help more if there were 3 of us. He looked down the coast. Drew was long gone. Corinne's jaw tightened. She wanted to go, she said, but her eyes flicked down the coast too. Anyway, she has a whole family who will be sorry if something happens to her. Yet another advantage of being on your own, Buki replied. Each syllable of on your own pricked at Corinne's heart, but she had to concentrate on what needed to be done. So how are you going to distract the fishermen? Malik pointed to his feet, then made a low peek over his head with his hands. Buki smiled and nodded. Don't worry, we have an idea.